Hello everyone, this is Mr. Luke Evan Brooks and welcome to my channel, Passive Income Central with Luke Evan Brooks. I wanted to talk to you about a few things that I've been looking at that I have on my sheet here. Just about the things that are going to affect you with this inflation. A lot of people are wondering, like, how does this inflation affect us? And I'm talking more particularly with the United States. With the situation going on with Ukraine and Russia, you're seeing now a spike in your gas. And the things that we have to take care of, just to let you know before we start, is that you want to make sure that you go ahead and go down below to my free content. I have free content that's going to help you with what I'm about to talk about here. And also, if you're new to this channel, please make sure you subscribe. Please subscribe to this channel. So let's go ahead and continue. With the situation that's going on right now with Russia and Ukraine, we are looking at unprecedented levels of inflation, right? So with them having a price on gas, because again, Russia is the #3 producer in oil for the world, that's been cut off. So particularly, we have not received the oil from Russia directly, but the European nations receive the oil. They have an oil line going from Russia into Europe that's been cut off because of this whole situation. That creates a rise in demand because there's a lack of supply. So typically, European nations may be getting their stuff from Russia, and they're saying, okay, now we're got the situation going on, I'm not going to be dealing with y'all, and sanctions are coming into play. Now you say, how does that affect us, Luke? Well, now imagine, if you will, if you had a pizza, and this is a whole pizza, right? And someone tells you, okay, that's your pizza. And then something happens where the person say, this is your pizza. Let's turn around now saying, well, you're going to have to share it with 8 other people, but it takes away your proportions, right? So you have less to work with, less to have. And now this is now affecting areas like California, all throughout the nation. But in California, they're now seeing $6 in oil or fuel for gas, and that's really crazy. Now it doesn't affect just gas. You got to think about everything is going up because the burden goes back onto the consumer. So transportation of your food, for your supplies, parts, plastic, things like that, the demand for that gas or that oil is now being shifted back on to the customer, who's now facing already post, well, almost post pandemic, but post era where we having with COVID, where people are driving, flying around, doing the things they want to do, era, right? People want to travel, people want to do these things. They're not wearing no mask anymore. So at the end of the day, you got this inflation going on, and you got this oil demand going on, and it's now becoming an issue for us. Now, things that you have to take in consideration. Well, Luke, what do we need to take in consideration? Some of the things that you have to take in consideration is that the money that we have now with that inflation requires you to have more dollars, or whatever it may be your currency. But I'm talking particularly the United States. It requires you to have more dollars to get the same thing that you got maybe a few weeks ago. It's like gas, right? And your buying power is being weakened. Everything that we see now, as far as with the Federal Reserve talking about the possibility of just raising interest rates, it's not helping you either. It's supposed to curtail inflation, but with the situation we have, people like banks or whatnot are going to be less, say less active on lending money out because now these interest rates are going up. Now, I do have a way that I will tell you, a few ways that you can save yourself from this situation, from eroding everything that you have. One thing I tell people is that you need to get into investments. And investments may not just necessarily mean like, hey, I want to just do a 401k. I always tell people this: diversify what you have. If you are receiving $17,000 or $20,000 or whatever it may be, don't go blow it on paying off your bills and things like that. Pay what you gotta pay, but then also use that money to increase your buying power. And you might be like, what do you mean? Like, go buy some nice clothes? No. I'm talking about buying assets. That's right. So if you want to get into real estate, this is a perfect time, because if people are moving out and they don't want to do this and you just want to hold on to land or a house itself, you could turn around and use that. You could turn around with a house or for an apartment complex and turn it into an Airbnb, but people still gotta live, right? That's just Maslow's needs. People want to have food, shelter, protection, right? So shelter is a requirement. Rent it out. Use that to generate money for you. Other things that you can do also too with that end is that you can do some wholesaling, you can do flipping, you can do many things that can help you generate money in that side of the house with buying houses. If you're doing things like you want to do portfolio stocks, I will tell you to be cautious with that, because if you don't know what you're doing, you need to get a professional that can help you get your portfolio fixed. Some of you may be like, I don't have a portfolio. Then this is the perfect time to talk to an investor. Talk to them, talk to a few of them. Just don't look at one person, because they're going to tell you different things. But you got to make that judgment call to be like, what do I really want? Because a lot of us are not looking at our number, not basically number your age when you're going to retire, but the number that you need, the money that you need to retire without having to do all these major changes in your life. And a lot of Americans are facing that. A lot of Americans are facing where they have a bank account with less than $1,000 in it, right? I know that sounds crazy. Less than $1,000 in savings. So that tells me that you're living check to check, and it's getting a lot worse. And we have to change that mindset. The other thing that you have to do also is that you want to make sure that you are able to look at the picture ahead. And what I mean look at the picture ahead, it's just like if you're driving down the highway and you're looking at the highway and you're like, okay, I know there's a stop sign or a ramp, the exit ramp that I got to get onto, versus you're looking down at the GPS and like, oh, I just missed my exit. What I tell people is like, follow the trends that you're seeing and understand what you're looking at. For me, a lot of people still going to travel, right? With the whole COVID situation, this leads into another one, like a 2 and a 3. Get you some cars. I get cars. I use cars to make a passive income. I use these revenue streams, like they have Turo, they have Prevail, they have Get Around. They have all these assets out here that you can actually use to make money. You don't have to necessarily sacrifice your time, but if you have $3,500 and your credit's pretty decent, go ahead and buy a vehicle. There's some calculations behind that. But look at what they're offering you and look at how much you can put on the market. If you do that, you will be taken care of so good that you start generating money. Other assets that I think about too is ATMs. ATMs, people are going to constantly use ATMs. People use those things constantly. Now, a lot of people say, well, why ATMs? It's something that's not going to go away. I know a lot of people, well, ATMs will go away. Never. Never. You're imagining. A lot of people tell you that these folks are just leaning forward into like the future, and that's not happening. If that's the case, we should have flying cars. We're not going to have flying cars. Therefore, we're not going to be having ATMs go out of whack, because it's not everyone who's going to have digital currency where they can just use their phone and chip to chip everyone. Some places ain't going to do that. Barbershops are not going to do that. Salons are not going to do that. Your local concession stand with the lemonade girl ain't going to do that, right? So currency's still important. Paper currency, you want to make sure you have that taken care of. Other things that I would tell you to, going down this pipeline, is that number 4, you should be able to go ahead and work on yourself. And what does that mean, Luke? What that means is that if you're trying to make more money and you want to work smarter, not harder, you may want to learn a skill. And they got all these e-schools out here that cost little to nothing, where you learn a particular skill and then you market yourself as that person to go to, whether it's this with visual designing, whether it's just dealing with computer art, dealing with balancing the accounting, like books, portfolios, balance sheets, things of that sort. You can do that. If you're good with typing up emails, if you're good with PowerPoint setups, you can put that out there. There's a place called Fiverr where you can actually go, where if you're trying to get people to help you with services to get you going as far as buying stuff for your business or wherever your venture is, or just putting yourself out on there and marketing yourself. Another one is number 5, is affiliate marketing. Now, what affiliate marketing is that it allows you to actually promote companies like, I would say, Herbalife, ClickFunnels, of course, ClickBank, with a link. And the link is to their product. And if people buy off that link that you have that's uniquely identified with you, you make a commission. Now, I know it sounds too good to be true, but this has been going on years and years and years. It's about where you have influence. If you're good on Instagram, you can use it. If you're good on Facebook, you can use this. If you got an email list, you can use it. You just have to get that link out there and present it to your audience. I'm not saying just throw links out there. Again, the course that I have down below in the description teaches you how to promote just off your Facebook profile without setting up a landing page or any of that stuff. I always recommend a landing page because at the end of the day, once people start buying from you, you want them to become your lifetime customers. And that's another venture that we'll talk about there. But overall, you can do affiliate marketing. You can do referrals. You can do a lot of things that can actually bring you a lot of income going in the right direction that you need to for your business or for you just starting off. Again, guys, don't let this inflation get you. Don't let these gas prices get you. If you're serious about growing your business, if you're serious about starting a business, I have a course that's absolutely free. It's down below in the description. You need to definitely check it out. I'm going to give you the guidance that you need to start running your business or your product or your service on Facebook alone, on your profile. And it's very straightforward and it walks you through the steps A to Z. And I hope that I provided you with enough material. I provided you with enough material to relay to you that this is very important. And if you feel like this has helped you out, I want you to go ahead and like and subscribe. And please share this message out there to everyone that you know that's going through an issue right now. It's very important that we do this the right way. Well, guys, I'm signing off here. My name is Mr. Luke Evan Brooks. I thank you for tuning in to the channel. I see you on the other side. Take care.